Greetings. Welcome to Legacy of Worlds. I am Tomekeeper Devon, and I just want to take some time to thank those who make this show possible. Hero Forge, WizKids, KP11 Studios, Foambrain Games, and of course, Linvander themselves. But now, the adventure and the stories unfold. Hello and welcome. I am surrounded today by an eclectic group of individuals who are here to play in a massive adventure spanning multiple worlds, planes, and who knows what else. First of all, thank you everybody for coming to join on this game. It's going to be a fun ride, I think, and I'm very much looking forward to being able to game with you all for an extended period of time. We're going to essentially jump right in. We'll have everybody introduce themselves and their character one by one as we go, and we shall begin with, on my right, we have a certain random person. Who are you, and what's going on?
My name is Ed Greenwood, and 56 years ago, I created something called the Forgotten Realms.
Wait, you did that?
Yes, yes, I was bored. And in school. Could never put children in school, they get bored. Anyway, and so I created the Forgotten Realms, and I created about 10,000 characters in the Forgotten Realms, and one of them is the guy I'm playing today, all this time, for the whole adventure, Elminster of Shadowdale. Elminster of Shadowdale looks basically the way I do, except the real Elminster's beard is a little longer. Mine keeps getting caught in things. He's really smart. I'm not. He's really debonair. I just act debonair. And that's it. Elminster Shadowdale at your service.
Very good. Now, Elminster, this is not the first time that he has interacted with some of the other characters at this table. It's been about 20 or so years since you had a little adventure with Merrick's Decaneth and some people of another world. Melf was there as well, although I'm pretty sure you've probably talked or hung out with him a little bit here since then. Yeah. So in these last 20 years since this grand adventure that you found yourself on, because you're technically retired from the whole adventuring business. You mostly just stay in your tower and read.
These days I mostly stay in Waterdeep. I'm head of the secret police, not to put too fine a point on it, of my fellow chosen Laryl, who is the open lord of Waterdeep. Mm-hmm. I'm also still a harper, so the harpers report to me, and I find out from them all the rebuilding that needs to be done across the shattered Forgotten Realms. As we inch towards 1500 DR in the realms, there are many things that need to be fixed, and I fix them, but I now do it the kingpin behind the desk instead of the, "Hi, I'm here to destroy your village."
A little less heavy-handed.
Yes.
So over the last 20 years, then, you've been working with this project in the shadows, manipulating, coercing things into happening, and steering the world in the direction of good and better. Towards stability. Now, there has been sort of a whisper in the weave recently, sort of these fluttering ripples making their way down to you. Yes. And as you are someone who is, of course, the chosen of Mystara, you were tapped into the weave. It is something that you tend to pay a fair bit of attention to. So this is something you've been checking. And it kind of comes to a head when all of a sudden it is as if the magic flowing through the world of Toril is pulled and yanked in a different direction in a way that it doesn't normally go. This is not necessarily unheard of. Occasionally the weave does get pulled out or twisted or moved, but this is more like someone's taking a shop vac to the entire weave and yanking the entire thing away. There have been a couple of issues that have spawned from this. Magic items are somewhat lacking in their normal provocations. Portals are a little more distended. Wild magic sorcerers are becoming a little more wild than they otherwise would normally. It's nothing too world-ending or catastrophic, but it is definitely concerning, especially when you're in the process of doing these things, and as they're magically, constructing buildings and things like that, it all just starts to fall away, and it takes 3 more people to come in and support it to fix the problem. It seems like there's a staggering to trying to accomplish anything magical, and it is somewhat hampering your ability to accomplish these tasks that you've been set out to do.
Not good.
Kind of looking into where this might be going, following your way down, it would appear to be some kind of extraplanar interference. There looks to be some sort of siphoning of energy that is occurring, and it's pretty potent as well. You're not even sure how this was done, because it is something occurring from outside of Toril itself that appears to be enacting. So immediately you start running through the catalog of various enemies that you've made over the years, and
it's a long one.
Would you like to pursue this problem?
Oh, yes.
Or is there any preparations you would like to make before you do so?
Tell my next kid. No, tell Laryl why I will be leaving for a bit. Gather my traveling magic items as laid out here. Get my spells ready. Cast Major Armor on myself.
Very important.
Then have a short rest and make sure that the cat's been fed, the provisions are ready, and so forth.
Okay. Now, this isn't really, you don't really have to open any portals or anything. You mainly just sort of gently lean back into this, the weave's energy itself, and get pulled along with it as you merge with Mystra's mists and surge up, flying through what you perceive to be the ethereal, the astral, and then all of a sudden shunting out into a very strange room. The smell of blood and ozone immediately assault you, and your hair kind of stands up on end. Your beard ruffles out and gets a little haggardy more than usual, and your clothes have that kind of that static charge that makes them kind of billow out a little bit, where they're not quite as clinging to you as much as possible. Blinking away and looking around, sort of this miasmic haze, you can see what look to be corpses of robed individuals, a few kind of coughing and crawling, and one of them is a interesting dressed and looking woman. Now, also joining us over there...
Hello. My name is Elisa Teague, and I am a tabletop game designer. D&D fans may know me from D&D's Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, but I have also worked on a lot of different RPGs and board games, and today and tonight and throughout this entire time, did I get that right? I will be playing Elise. And she looks a lot like me. When you enter, I'm on the ground, you said?
You are... Yeah, I think you're just kind of picking yourself up off the ground. along with a few of the other archmages that are gathering their
You can see that as I lift myself off the ground, there is a glow that emanates from me. But my main concern, even before I see you, is that a deck of cards has scattered across the floor as I quickly grab them all and put them back into a deck and into my pouch. Where did you come from?
The weave brought me here, and forgive me, we have not yet been introduced, but this is definitely not Vela's House of Vampires, not with cards all over the floor, so where am I?
And now we shall kind of fade away from this scene and hear the sound of clockwork mechanisms and lightning arcs and the jingling of coins as we join our other intrepid adventurer.
Hi, I am Keith Baker. I am best known for creating the campaign setting of Eberron, not quite so long ago as Forgotten Realms. I also make games of all sorts with my company Together Studios. Meanwhile, if you're curious what Merrick's, because I'm playing Baron Merrick's of House Kenneth, if you'd like to know what I've been up to for the last 20 years, I suggest you pick up a copy of my best-selling memoir, The Baron, available at all Civis stores, anywhere. If you haven't read it, we're going to have the Crystal Theater rights coming out soon. Keep your eyes out. Still looking for someone to play this, so let me know what you got.
First of all.
But aside from that, while my good friend has been moving the world in the direction of good, I've been moving the world in the direction of gold. And
Same thing.
learned exactly a little bit of disruption where it needs to be disrupted. But been using a few things I've learned, a little Renick here, a little chronomancy there. Toying around with a little thing we like to call the Mournland. A lot of opportunities over there, and just trying some new things, building a better world is what I've been doing.
Now, I see Merrick's as having a very high-rise office that overlooks the city of Sharn and the surrounding land.
Yes, absolutely. Which is already
and I think you like to stare out at it with your arms behind your back and just look out at the world that you're now above.
Yeah.
And as you do so, as you are often to do, you start to notice a few strange things happen. Some of the lights begin to flicker and wink out and kind of hit back up again. You see people sort of looking at their shards and slamming them against their hands as they begin to fiddle and
No bars? That is bad.
Yeah.
We've been working on that.
You also see that some of the more the mechanisms that are in the process of maneuvering and accomplishing the various tasks that need to be done are having similar issues, and even your own lights begin to flicker and adjust, and you start to see manifestations of electrical energy crawling their way out of some of the elementally powered devices that keep everything running smoothly, as it would appear the abjurations that keep them bound are beginning to wink out and fade and flicker.
Yeah, that's not good. Obviously, I'm going to activate emergency reserves because, that's why you
course you would
have
have that,
them.
yes.
I mean, hello. Yes. I mean, yes, we've cut costs on safety, perhaps, but we haven't dropped it completely. And so, obviously, I will activate some emergency systems, but especially when you do live on a floating platform above Sharn, you don't want that to go out. So, yes, we got to get moving on this right away.
Yeah, there's a bit of a, and then everything kicks in again.
Light becomes a little more red, but all right. So yeah, I gotta.
Now, if you have a very good surveying of most of the land, and it's a bit of a clear day today, you can see the lightning rail running along as it does, and it just kind of you see bursts of electricity as things begin to crawl their way out of the mechanisms, and it's moving very fast, and then it all of a sudden is not moving at all. And so a lot of twisted metal and stone and electrical energy flies out as you see one of them sort of not explode, but basically run itself through the air and pull itself apart as everything from the inside starts to scatter around. And you can see very similar things happening along the other side on another rail. And you notice some of the people who, of course, have these emergency systems that the flickering begins to stop and alight. And you see that around some of the more poorer parts of Sharn, things begin to dim a little bit more as parts of it continue to alight. And it would appear that there's definitely something going on.
Yeah, absolutely. First off, I have to say, lightning rail issues, that's House Orion. That is not a Kenneth problem. Don't direct your problems to me. But yeah, again, as I say, this is a serious world-shaking issue that I got to get to the bottom of right away.
So what is your methodology here? How would you, as Baron of House Kenneth, the situation?
Well, first off, I would immediately produce a scroll of divination, I would think. I would have to check quickly on my my divination school to see if it's commune, whatever the best 5th level, find an answer.
Yeah. The fine answer spell.
So, I'm going to look for a fine answer spell just to sort of be like trying to find what is the source, just as a general. Like, what are we looking at
Now,
here?
is this just you doing this, or do you have your top men
Well, of
also
course.
on
I
this
mean,
job?
immediately I'm going to get on the spell phone and call down to R&D and to
So
monitor.
as soon as you call them, you just hear screams and panic voices as everything seems to be going awry. There's like, they've escaped!
I'm, Thomas, remember, activate the emergency containment systems. We've been over this. There's been drills once a month. Get your act together, boy.
Containing the situation.
Yes.
You get your top scientists working, or your mage rights working on the problem
for sure.
And it would appear that the magic that permeates the world of Eberron, well, not even just Corvair, just the world of Eberron, is siphoning itself elsewhere. Now, immediately people start to throw accusations about, it's something going on with the moons, or it's something to do with the Delkir. There's all kinds of things going around. But you kind of recognize this because you've seen something similar about 20 or so years ago.
Delkir, such a small-minded concept.
When all that was going on, and it was going beyond this entire section of Eberron and well off into some unknown part of the multiverse. And having already constructed a gate, you merely have to go back to that old warehouse and pull all the tarps off of it and start it back up again, reconfigure it a little bit to follow after wherever you feel this is going.
It's so hard and sad, too, because you just go look at it and, looking at something you made 20 years ago, just the style is so out.
Well, then that's the question. Do you have to take a few minutes to just kind of you gotta get in
this
there.
is like having to pull out a floppy and just being like, how's this thing even work again? But yeah, we can get that. We can get that going.
For those of you watching, a floppy is a type of disc that was.
Yeah.
That's floppy. I was thinking
That wasn't what I was talking. I mean, yeah. But definitely, I'm gonna at least just do a little prestidigitation, put a new coat of paint on, and you gotta have a little style here because I'm recording this for posterity.
Of course.
I mean, of course.
And I'm
Merrick saves the world again.
You got to rig it up into your emergency power system so it doesn't wink out the minute you step through it. You get eviscerated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, get that going. Go on through.
Okay. Now, immediately from Elisa's point of view, you just saw a crazed old man stumble out of nowhere and just sort of appear. Conversely to that, in the middle of your conversation, just a gate opens up and a very well-dressed individual steps out looking incredibly curious. As Merrick, you are presented with the same scene that was described to Elminster earlier.
Hey, Heartbreaker, how you doing?
Hello.
Know anything about a whole world-ending drain of magic going on?
It is you.
It's been a while, but yeah, you remember, That is you, right? With
I do
It's hard to
remember.
guess
I
the
remember very
glow.
well. What did you do to this?
Well, there's some fascinating energies in it. I just thought maybe if you redirected it, it seemed like it was mainly radiant.
Why are you here?
And-
Why?
Well, the end of the world, sort of. I mean, my world, frankly. Something's draining arcane energy.
And of course, Merrick's you would also recognize.
Oh, hey, Shadowdale, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. Of course, our worlds aren't, as usual.
Are you having a world-ending situation too?
Yes.
Draining magic?
Yeah.
Dark energies?
Yeah.
See, that's fascinating because I thought maybe it was the Ring of Cerberus, but this really lends itself to an externalist theory of magic, which is fascinating. Okay, well, sorry, I'll try and speak common here.
For your own protection, you must go. You must leave now.
And on that,
Okay.
we make our way to the nice fields of Oerth, where Melf is presumably doing something with the Knights of Luna. Who are you? What's going on over here?
I am Luke Gygax, and I was fortunate enough to be born the son of Gary Gygax, who's co-creator of Dungeons & Dragons. So I've been gaming all of my life, and Melf is one of the characters that I played with my father through Greyhawk. Other than that, I run a convention called GaryCon and do a little writing under my own corporation, Gaxworks. But Melf looks very little like I do in real life. Melf is a gray elf, and he's got silver hair and lavender eyes and lacks a beard entirely. But he's incredibly slender, but wiry and strong, preternaturally strong almost, with a very sharp mind filled with arcane knowledge. He's dedicated himself to being a blade singer. So he's a wizard, but very good with the spears that he carries. In this case, and he is a member. He works closely with Mordenkainen and the Red Rampart Guard, and he's been tasked recently with keeping certain folks who are trying to release an ancient god into the world of Greyhawk, god that brings entropy to the world.
Oh, this is Tharizdun? Yeah.
Yeah. So he's been keeping busy with that, and it's actually gained quite a bit of power in the through these very arduous trials that he's gone through fighting evil. But that's pretty much what he's been up to.
Now, during this fight against evil and this questing, I think you said you've gained more power. You've achieved almost. Some would say you could rival Mordenkainen even, and of course that's immediately dismissed by anybody in the Circle of Eight.
Deep inside, I think so.
But I
just don't.
Of course. During these travels that you've been making around, probably just mostly the Flaness, I think, right, on Oerth, of course, the ever-present shadow of Ayuz has remained a constant thing that you've occasionally had to blast off against, but for the most part, you've been dealing, as you said, with Tharizdun.
Yes, the machinations of Iaz or Ayuz, it's really potato. But yes, there are demons here and evil beasts there, but nothing quite as awful as the, planar ending, threat of Tharizdun. So these are more mundane and manageable threats.
Sure. At least until one morning, when you awaken and you begin to feel sort of this weird tingly sensation, almost as though when your limbs fall asleep and you're starting to get feeling back in them, and it's this very strange. At first, you just think maybe you were meditating in a weird stance, a weird pose, as you weren't quite. Or maybe you're getting older. It's hard to say. You're only like 200.
Still pretty young for Grey Elf, but
and
it's a lot of miles though.
That's true. Yeah, and as you kind of let yourself go out and you use this new power that you've taken from many years of magecraft and facing evil, and you tap into the artifacts and the knowledge that you've gained. You remember some of the things that you have worked with Mordenkainen on, because he's known to be someone who tends to kind of pay more attention to things going on elsewhere. It doesn't, it's all about maintaining the balance.
Yes.
It doesn't matter whether it's if there's good and evil happening equivalently on Oerth, let's go check out somewhere else. And so you've kind of been following a little bit of what he's been telling you. You can reach yourself out beyond this world, out possibly astral projecting, and you can see and feel this suction forcing energy out of not just the Flyness or Oerth, but all of Oerth itself, or the Oerth. I'm not whichever it is, and you can see it is getting shunted out into the astral. Now, you could quite possibly think this might be something associated with Thursdun and machinations that are going on.
I definitely want to investigate. I will. Let's see.
Is there any arrangements that you want to make with?
Well, certainly. I'll tell my companion, my henchman Biff. Yes, that I something is strange. I'll explain to him that there's energy is being pulled from the planet, and I tell him to, gather our friends, warn Morgan can this, but I'm going to go investigate immediately. So I'm just going to get my adventuring gear and my traveling spell books, pack them away, and then I'm going to hopefully.
I'm assuming you have access to things like plane shift.
Yeah, absolutely.
Teleport.
Yeah, I have like 9th level spells.
Yeah.
I could do that.
I wish to be where the problem is.
Right.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that, or that would work.
You sort out, you through the combination of the massive amount of spells you have, and likely you have scrolls and all sorts of other objects
Indubitably,
that you've
yes.
acquired over the years, and using your combined power, you ascend yourself beyond the world of Oerth and process through the ethereal, through the astral, and arrive not quite as gracefully as Decaneth here, but definitely more so than Elminster, who just sort of flung himself through. You step shakily out onto, again, the same scene, this internal building with these corpses and robed figures.
I was hoping for a superhero landing, but okay.
Absolutely, you can certainly do it. It's just kind of like it's bad on the knees. It really.
I'm still young.
Yeah.
I got it.
You kind of just twirl the spear as you come in. You're ready for action. As you see that the action's already happened. There are corpses. There are robed figures slowly rising, and there appear to be 3 individuals engaged in lively conversation, 2 of which you recognize.
Oh, Mystara.
Melf!
Hey. And Merrick's, I see.
Yeah, hey. Still got the ears sharp, I see.
Yeah, well,
Green. It's your color.
thank you. And
Still.
yes, it is very, very, I'm embracing my heritage as an elf and, the woodlands and simple, trying to,
Got a thing that works. I appreciate that.
well, it's easy to become ostentatious if we don't center ourselves and think about others.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't say things like that about Shadowdale.
Okay, I'm old. I can take it.
All right.
But what brings you here? I sensed some sort of energy being removed from
Indeed,
Oerth.
a little problem with magic, and we were just about to find out where here is and more about it.
So you all know each other.
Yeah, I mean,
I hate to break up this reunion, but you should go back through this gateway and get out while you can. And I will just point at everything.
The carnage,
as you see, as you start to manipulate.
oh, wait, shoot. Is this place? Is this what this is about? Okay, no, this isn't. Okay, so yeah, a different way to get out.
Yes. Go back. Go now.
Is that a deck of many things, or
It's a deck of
If you say that,
I got it.
our eyes will just look at you and scan you over. What do you know of the deck of many things?
cut to.
I am Tommy, founder of Limander Studios and creator of the world of Imaria, and co-producer to the project with you, Douglas,
Yes.
the Imaria Pillars of Power. And I am playing Loholt, who is a chronomantic-influenced paladin and bard. He looks very much like I do. Considerably more handsome, though. But
Considering these weather, considering the going
handsome. Let's suspend of disbelief here, and
Try real hard.
yes, he tries hard. He is clad in plate of elven heritage that has been built. It is quite light and lithe compared to other plate armor. It is banded with the gold and trimmings of much more elaborate than the costume here. He has white eyes that are milked across, but not in a sickly or an undead fashion. It is a bit of a glow, like the color has been drained, and the iris kind of blends in with the rest of the eye, but not like an Asimar where it glows. It's just more like just an existent eye. Next, he's carrying a large sword, a war sword, that is made of amber, and he's clad in quite a bit of amber. And the amber blade looks like it could be shattered upon impact, but it has a magnificent magnetism around it because it is an artifact of power from the world of Imaria, where I reside. And for the past 20 years, since the special guests have arrived in a world that should not have a breach of the veil being a chronomantic shell around Imaria, the world, Loholt has been plagued by friend and foe to take the crown, the kingdom crown of Primaris, the central continent of Imaria that his family lineage has been reigning over for many, many years. And whether he's met friends anew or had influences from old wizards from faraway lands and Iltherian or Rennick knights, weave breakers that have tried to convince him to become king, he eventually did take the crown. But this is not the crown he is wearing now. This is a circlet. He took the crown and took it only to take reign of the land, to unite people, to create a democratic sort of atmosphere for the continent of Primaris only. And then immediately after, using the power of the crown to do so, embedded it into a monument that will become the central focus for the democratic factions to come together and rule this continent equally. Now, whether that political system is working or not, he's unaware, because at that point he has then taken up arms with some of his most loved companions, Bowery and Roessa, and lamenting some of the companions that have fallen over the years, Gabriel and Christoph, and he has traveled from place to place, helping all those in need when they are in need, using the somewhat fame he's gathered from a king's perspective to still manage to help those that are in need and vanquish those who are trying to oppress the freedoms and the democratic position.
Now, 20 years ago, you had, like you were saying, you had visitors from another world that should not have been possible.
Yes.
Through circumstances and certain events, it was resolved.
It was shattering, though, because nobody in Imaria knew about any other world. The concept of additional worlds were completely foreign. So Loholt has spent 20 years trying to figure out what.
But it's only been Loholt's, your companion Adira, who was with you at the time, as well as certain elder dragon,
yes,
who have even been aware that this occurred. And when that resulted and it came to a conclusion, it was an explosive conclusion. Mm-hmm. In the time following that 20 years ago event, something called the Moonfire Conflagration swept itself across Imaria, where due to some sort of feedback of the reactor, as you and your companions had been sent to deal with, there was this powerful anti-magic reactor that was creating a swath of issues. And when that had been dealt with in an explosive manner, it backfired, and there was a feedback on the veil, causing the sky to open itself up, and the beings of the moons and their temples and assaults to overlap themselves onto the veil, and you and your companions fought your way through that in order to finally put an end to it, but not without having to say farewell to your dear friend. That's Gabriel, of course. Once the Moonfire Conflagration had finished itself and the demonic invasion had been pushed back, things did settle back into a sense of normalcy. And as you said, democracy has now come into Teysadar at the very least.
Yeah, a different name for the fantasy world, but some democratic sort of position.
Sure. Yeah. Plutocracy. It is then as you are journeying about and maybe possibly thinking of how things are going back home and looking back on all of the things that have happened to you over the last 20 years, maybe you still remember the bumbling old wizard and the super genius and the elf with the spear.
To Lowhold, yeah. So Lowhold, that's these two if you don't know. So Lowhold, they were all killed, but the dragon saved them.
That's right.
Except for Merrick. We don't really know what happened to Merrick.
Well, you believe he was saved, but you didn't ever get to say actual farewell because it was his heroic action that caused the explosion, which inevitably led to the Moonfire conflagration. But you know, it was
Take a world without
Cause effect, you know.
It is then immediately brought back to your mind when once more the skies open themselves and the hordes of the lunar invaders and the daemons beyond begin to once again assault their way into Imaria.
This is happening like literally again?
After 20 years. You can see the stars and the moons themselves glowing as you, being someone attuned to the veil, feel it tear asunder as a gaping hole is torn open in the barrier that protects your world from those outside of it. And you can see the towers and the winged beasts and the large ships begin to make their ascent. And it feels different this time. You almost stagger over as you feel that connection you have with the veil being ripped from you. There's sort of this tug, this pull, as if you're attached to marionette strings and the puppeteer is yanking on you to try and get you unstuck.
So I picture this as I'm probably in some sort of like larger encampment, or I'm in some sort of castle or whatnot with various representatives of the factions, the Silver Sword, the Diamond Skull, and I'm witnessing this happen.
Yeah, the scouts are shouting, armies are mobilizing. Everyone around you is kind of looking to you for leadership, as after 20 years, everyone has just sort of learned that even if you don't want to be the leader, you tend to do a pretty damn good job of being one. So
classic form, Amber Sword will come out, big glowing, calming light. I will use whatever influence the sword and myself can have to try and calm the emotions of everyone and keep them from being frightened, and explain to them all. It's like, quickly, get to the leaders of your factions and work together to find a cause. I will go and investigate. Tell Embrauri, the general, to have the forces ready to do combat and for whatever I bring back, because we all know, whatever I go get, I will bring back to be defeated. Got that clear? Go!
yes, sir. And immediately they disperse.
And I will do a classic form. I will pull out this little tiny yellow lapis lazuli style statuette of a Pegasus, and I'll whisper like, my little Hero Forge model. Thank you, Hero Forge. It's very beautiful. And I will whisper to it, I need you to, my friend, come to me. And you will see that it will start to crack, and almost like it's shattering. And as it cracks, light will glow through it, and it will, in fact, shatter. But the shatter will go out and suspend itself in midair, and then come back together into a ball of light. And then suddenly, as if when the light flashes away and you gain your vision back, I am mounted on a spectral gold, yellow, white, and blue Pegasus that just kind of rears back, and I'm totally already mounted on it, sword in hand, and I will gun as fast as I can toward this gaping hole to do whatever I can to either divert, fight. You won't go in, fight, blind, die like most paladins. And like
I will say, as you take off, you feel sort of a thrumming vibration from your sword arm, and the amber glow of your blade pulses, and for a moment you hear a voice as if calling from deep within a void. Veer to the right.
And this voice is familiar to me.
It is, but you haven't heard it in about 20 years.
Grammars. Veer to the right. Well, Laholt is not a new adventurer.
And I will say his voice sounded strained, as if he was in pain.
So I know something's off. I veer to the right.
Veering to the right, immediately everything just sort of vanishes around you as you crest up into the actual physical barrier of where the veil normally would be itself. As the clouds surround you, you can see Elysia for but a moment, all of their airships mobilizing, huge machines piloted by those who cannot have wings of their own, making their way to engage, and it is gone, replaced with a strange building with 3 very familiar folk and a load of corpses. And you come in with a Pegasus full tilt, crashing through, the ground flies up, stone going everywhere. Some of the archmages and the ropes are screaming.
Kid still knows how to make an entrance. Are you
sure you jumped to the left before you veered to the right?
I'm throwing the time warp, literally. So I'll be ready to.
Hokey pokey. We're not sure.
Locomotion ongoing.
Okay, so the Pegasus will rear back. I will pull back and realize immediately that I'm in an enclosed space and probably causing havoc, and I will see them. And for a moment, he will like be shocked, but it's so quick that he just immediately recalls down, Banquo, and then the Pegasus.
indoors, kid?
And then the Pegasus will just explode back into a ball of light and then back into the little figurine. And then I will just be standing there in a not so heroic hero pose.
So have you taken the crown yet?
He's wearing a circlet. It's a circlet. It's a good look for him. Look at that.
Is his
Look at that.
sword glowing?
Yes.
As soon as I see your glowing sword, before you say anything, you will see as I start to shuffle through my cards and go to, and just barely catch myself before throwing one at you when you say something in recognition.
Not again, Elminster. What did you do? Wait, forget that. He puts the sword aside and he runs across and he gives you a big hug.
Oh.
Elminster. And then he turns and goes, he turns, he sees you. He's like,
Lord, my, you've grown.
and then he looks to the side.
King Louisville. Well met.
No.
No?
Prince Brightflame. Prince Brightflame.
Yes, well,
Not king yet.
No. No.
I was king for an hour, but that's the story.
Okay.
And then he stops and turns and he just looks over. And you see his eyes well up a little bit. He's like, and he goes over and he gives you a big ass hug.
I
You go out with a handshake.
I'm like, hey, okay, right? We're hugging. Hi, hug. Yeah. It's good to see you, kid. You're looking good.
You're looking good, Mary.
I mean, that's just the way I am.
So if there's anything that's crawling, he just will quietly go and stab into whatever that corpse is on the ground, and then look over.
Hold the card, lady.
Nice old man.
Cavalry's here.
If it's like a zombie or something.
No, they're all like humanoid.
Oh, okay, no, sorry.
Into the stonework.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Stonework. I thought it was a corpse.
It is a corpse. It's a corpse. It's a corpse of a human.
Do you throw it into the body that's right there?
No, if it was an undead corpse, I would have. But if it's just a person trying to get up, I'll just slam beside it.
He heard the word corpse and thought walking corpse.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Sorry. And then I will turn.
He was thinking Zombieland.
Yeah.
A friend of yours?
Yeah.
A friend.
Low hold. Let's. Elise.
Elise. It's been
It's been a while.
20 years?
Give or take a year or two,
Yes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, we go way back.
Apologies for the rude interruption.
Oh, yeah.
There is no time for this right now.
So here's the thing,
One of the
Heartbreaker.
robe
We
figure
can't
twitches.
go home. Home is falling apart.
What?
Home's in a bad way, and the answer is somewhere here. What can you tell us about this place?
Yeah. Where are we?
Yes.
There's no going back. We got to go forward.
There must be a way to go back. You all are in incredible danger. I can handle this.
Back is in incredible danger too. There's danger all around.
She has no idea.
Lady,
And the last time she saw you,
I needed help.
we live in incredible danger.
The only time
This is what we do.
is an incredible danger.
Yes.
so you have brought this danger here. This is why you also have this glowing.
Amberfat. No, this is a sword of good. An influence.
No,
Well,
Yeah.
put in my
Not
hands,
from what I have seen.
Okay, this is interesting. So you know something's going wrong.
What?
We're
Yeah.
all from places that
Friends are
something
folks,
terrible is happening, and the path leads here. You know something terrible. What's this threat that only you can face?
These are friends on the ground.
They are all the members of the organization of which you were here for, yes.
Right.
Friendly. Should we help them?
Lowholtz, as you look down at one of the bodies, you see that they are marred by a green-black slice on their back.
Like withered?
Yes.
Oh no. Did you see this happen?
I did. And I mean, immediately I'm going to start touching each one and do what
Yeah, the ones that are
can.
moving, I would assume.
Wait. I've reached out to stop. Please don't. Do you know what caused this wound?
A sword like this.
Not like this.
Like this, but green.
So we are in Imaria.
It is like this.
Are we in Imaria?
No.
Then how did the weave?
What is Imaria?
It is where I am from.
I've never heard of it.
Now, if this is
People need help. Well, I got a one to
yeah,
clean
yeah.
up.
All right.
And it's
right.
I'm
Must be
going to touch each one and I mean, how bad are they?
Give me a medicine check.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Look, just
Asian.
because you're 20th level doesn't mean you just don't make checks.
That will be 16.
first roll of the game.
Not bad.
First roll of the game.
Based on your surveillance, you can see that approximately 5 of the archmages have survived.
But are they just barely dead?
They're mostly dead.
Okay.
Can't revivify help is what you're saying.
Yes, so I have Revivify. So I would
As you
basically start
attempt to
expecting.
cast Revivify, it has no effect.
Okay, well then, instead of Revivify, can I do Spare the Dying?
That'll help one of them.
I
The other 4 seem to be alive, but just wounded.
Oh,
The rest are dead.
But the dead ones.
The dead are dead.
the dead are dead.
5.
There are 5. There are 4 that are wounded and 1 that is almost dead that I can.
That's right.
I will
Okay,
go up to one and
so-
lay on hands.
You would know. Okay, so you would know the one that you're healing is Braxon. They appear to have the countenance of an elf, and they are dressed in very colorful robes. As you kind of turn them over
I will not lay on hands because is he withered?
slightly.
You're not doing the one that I'm doing.
Right, we're on different folks.
Different people.
I will say
Not. There's no huge gash or slashing wound, but they do appear to be a little sallow.
so. You can hear me say to Melf, this was done by a Rennick blade. You know what that is?
Yeah.
What is here?
What is a Rennick blade?
It is an anti-magic steel that does damaging things to those who cast magic.
That does not exist.
This is a Rennick wound. I'm not lying to you. Your healing and your powers will not work on this being.
And I will spare the dying and
Okay, spare the dying. So
it works.
as you
Oh,
I'm
that,
going to use investigation.
Yes.
To look at the wound, observe. Does this look like the Rennick
that
I've seen
it's
before?
been a while, but I think
Yeah.
elven memories are probably quite good. Even so, yeah, this does appear similar. But you notice a few other things.
Yeah.
They are hit with magic force trauma.
Okay.
Would be a good way to put it. It's like there's a lot of to an untrained eye, to someone of lower skill, they would believe it to be perhaps some sort of shockwave of explosive or crushing type of weapon. Right. But you recognize this as magic feedback. So the sort of magical circuitry that runs through their bodies have sort of undone and redone. Like they've had full magical atomization, and the fact that they're alive is actually quite astounding.
question. I'll just grab Beer Boy here and just say, hey, it's been a while, but first of all, Rennick, I mean, I've been working with Rennick over the last 20 years. I've seen a lot of interaction between Rennick and magic and sort of injuries that can do. But basically, I wonder if the two of us, a little detect magic, a little arcana check.
Yeah, go for it.
You know, trying to get to the basic theory, both of what has happened here, but how it might be related to the siphoning of magic that
Absolutely.
we're experiencing in our world. So if we are working together, do you want to roll?
Sure,
and
I'll
I'll
certainly
roll
give you
one die,
my-
take her.
My description of what I saw as well.
Okay.
Oh, and definitely we're grabbing the guidance on here.
So 19.
Okay, 19 on the roll.
plus 15 doubled. Plus that's 30. So
Yeah, I mean we're in the 30s.
You're in the 30s.
You're in the 50s.
Oh yeah.
we're in the 50s. Yeah.
Oh my God. Level 20.
Well, I don't know if we get to add or roll together or just do them individually, but
Okay.
each of us individually is still with.
I think putting your heads together, the three of you especially, you get a very wide surveillance. First of all, as specified previously, there are 4 wounded, robed figures who seem to be clinging to life, and one nearly, well, now stable, but nearly dead figure.
They do not have the green.
They're not as wounded in that sense. They are more so dealing with the feedback.
Right.
And it was a dead corpse wounded by what might be Rennick that would not
that did
respond
appear to be the
revivify.
case.
And
Yes.
I know that they are well into investigating this and have it under control.
Yes.
But I will do the local thing, and I'll spin my sword around and survey the entire area around, including doors or anything.
Yes. So well, I mean, I assume everybody's getting a
I'm
good
doing the thing.
bearing look around. So what you are seeing is, to those of you magically trained in Arcana, you would see this is a ritual chamber, and this is a ritual chamber that is exceptionally well made, well detailed, and it contains sigils and runes and magical powers that you recognize a little bit of Faerunian things. You recognize a little bit of even some Abir stuff in there. There's some things from the Moonshays. You see a little bit of Eberron stuff scripted in there. You see a little bit of Kyber in there. There's a little bit of various types of, I think you probably would know Abyssal, right? You know that when you see there's Abyssal, there's Elvish, there's, this is an amalgamation of worlds worth of arcane knowledge, all inscribed along walls, ceilings, in this huge vaulted room where you can see a huge orrery made of some sort of metallic substance. You're not sure immediately what it might be. It could be like electrum, could be platinum. It has that kind of look to it. And you identify several sort of astrolabe type things attached to this massive orrery. This is an orrery not of a single I don't know what to call them.
System.
Well, yeah, I mean they're not crystal spheres anymore, but
Galaxy? No.
yeah, like
Celestial space.
yeah, celestial space. You immediately recognize. Oh, there's Toril right there, there's Eberron and all the moons. There's Oerth, and there's a few other worlds, and there is this sort of. There's a couple of them that have shattered and flown around, and a lot of the mechanisms appear to be damaged. In the center, there's this huge blast mark in this ritual circle, and the roped figures are scattered around this room as if they were blown back from the various positions where you would recognize various positions where others would be standing in the ritual, and the bodies appear to have flown out of those particular locations.
Just for future reference, I'm pulling out a sensory stone and recording, basically just studying the room just to be able, once we leave this place,
Sure.
to...
So, did any of these take a blow that I believe from a blade that was a Rennick that caused?
It does appear to be the case, yeah. It
Okay.
seems like there was multiple things going on here.
Okay.
Well, someone might have seen it.
So the question is, when the blast or whatever it was that happened, did I saw the person with the blade come in?
You saw 2 individuals come out.
Those 2.
One who was shrouded in hood and cloak and robe, and his bodyguard, or their bodyguard, who wielded the green blade.
Okay. But did the blast stop me from seeing where they went?
The blast was a blinding light, and when you were able to see again, they were just gone.
Where did they come in from?
So there is a door over on the side. It at one point looks like it was inscribed with multiple runes and sigils and wards, and they've all seen them like they're kind of dimmed out and charred and blackened as if they've been burned away or undone, unwoven.
Coming back to having been doing detect magic, having been doing arcana analysis, can we tell if the magic drain on the worlds is somehow flowing through this chamber, was caught. Basically,
based
the question is, can that
looking
be
at this,
temporarily
I'm going to say, looking at this ritual again with the three of you and your collective knowledge of all the 3 whole worlds worth of arcane information, this chamber is set up to access back doors in the astral plane to siphon magic from the worlds depicted in the orrery.
Huh. Is it?
And so, is that actively going on right now?
No, but
Or
you can
did it
tell
happen?
you can definitely tell that it has recently been active. It is still, the magic is still fading from the ritual circles.
So here's my question, just trying to make sure I understand our situation here. When we each last left our situation, there was a dire, like the world is on the verge of collapse. Do we feel like, okay, that was the result of the drain, which now is stabilized and things are probably like this could happen, but Sharn isn't going to collapse in the next hour?
So something you notice is
actively
each
going
of these parts of the astrolabes attached to this mechanism, this massive mechanism. You were in this huge observatory. Each of them have sort of different kind of runic sigils that you would. They seem like sigils that would depict status.
Right.
And you can see there's a few different ones, and they all are in the yellow.
Basically, what I'm trying to figure out is, again, it is the issue of we were all in situations that could have been destructive within the next hour to day. Is there anything we can do here to at least stabilize it so at least won't get worse?
It doesn't appear to be continuing anymore.
Okay, good. That's all I was trying to make sure.
It looks like whatever was happening has ceased.
Okay.
But the energy that has been drained is still drained.
The energy's still drained, and the obvious fact that it happened means it could happen again. We have a machine that goes bang.
I mean, it's definitely it's in a non-working state at the moment.
Who built this place?
As I look at them, as I say, more importantly, Minister, where are we?
Yes. Yeah, what is this place? And who built this chamber?
That guy? Is the dead one, or
This is one of the
Do I feel
barely
that,
alive, the mostly
being
dead.
brought here that I'm under, what would be some sort of secret oath?
You definitely
of
don't
mine?
want to just tell any old.
I mean, you're all
schmuck who
new,
shows
and I
up.
just did consult my cards to see what I could trust and who you all are. I know you, but I started with you because you spoke first, and I can see that you really do want to know for good. You have a positive will here, and so
Oh, lady, I am really trustworthy.
I was
anyone.
brought here to fix this, and I was well on my way before this intrusion by this person you know, and you, I know, can help me. You seem to be conflicted by a loss having to do with this green version of your blade.
Yes.
And you, I thought you were different, but you are here for money?
no? I'm here to keep the world from collapsing. I mean,
And so I can only reveal a few things without permission, but you are not equipped. I don't know about all of you to do this. At least I don't know.
He is quite capable.
We shall see. It looks like I'll need all the help that I can get to.
Well, I am with you, so. And with Elminster here to back me up, we'll be fine.
I don't know who you are.
A small.
he's an elf. He's an elf.
Lady, are
The elf.
Melf the elf.
elf.
How creative. Melf the elf.
I had a bore another name at my birth, but I have eschewed that because it is my calling to save the worlds.
He is a world saver. We all have saved worlds.
Help the person up that I've just,
So
stabilized,
there are 5 figures upon the ground. There is, and you know many of them because you've been introduced to them.
right.
5 down and 4 up. Is that what I'm?
No.
One that, sorry, there are like 5 dead people.
5 dead.
One who is currently stable, but just barely, and then 4 who are injured and beginning to recover
So
now.
10.
They've had a little bit of time
Total of 10.
to get moving. So you would know this one to be Darbus Swiftmill, a halfling, well known for conjuring. As he sort of crawls it. Right. As much as this chat is wonderful, could you perhaps get with the healing, huh?
Yes, of course. We already said. Let's go.
I've started already, and I will go again.
Yes, it seems to be taking this time.
In fact, I will touch his shoulder, and he's suddenly able to be healed pretty much completely in one touch.
Oh, that's much better. Why didn't you just do that from the beginning? Oy.
I assume some of the others are saying. I mean, I'll give some healing to one of the others.
Dust
You know,
off his
we'll-
robes.
We'll take care of your people.
Merrick, you move over to another one, and this one is interesting. It's a you kind of see a little clawed hand, brown fur, grab some spectacles, and as it turns, you recognize it as a looks like a humanoid pangolin.
Oh.
It's got like little scales and a tail. It's got little robes.
Well, here, little buddy. Have a little, pick me up.
Yeah.
It's not quite as good as that. But
Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Show a little appreciation, Darbus.
And I will go to another one.
There is a human and a half-orc.
Let's go for the human, touch them, and burn a charge of my Ring of Restoration.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I am a death dealer, not a healer, so I will just observe.
I'll lean back and touch the tip of Amber Fang and just employ a little healing of lay on hands through the blade because I'm staring. Any exits to this place?
There's a door.
I'll be staring at the door the whole time, studying that while I do this. Just heal the last person.
Okay. So the human and the half-orc rise unsteadily to their feet. One of them stumbling a little bit as they arrive. And, the human then steps forward. The Planar Energy Cooperative thanks you for your service towards us.
Energy.
You are very welcome. Who and what is the Planar Energy?
I am Gordon. He gestures to the pangle. He says, "This is Ferius. That halfling with the smart mouth is a Darbus. This gentleman half-orc here is Albel, and the one currently lying face down in his own drool is Braxon. We are what's left of the Planar Energy Cooperative. We are a group of powerful archmages, if we do say so ourselves, who all hail from doomed worlds, and we are here to ensure that no other worlds, or the multiverse itself, will ever face the fate of ours."
Which one of them grabbed the thing?
That would have been Gordon, the man speaking to human.
The one speaking right now.
That's right.
Not so powerful, it seems, if you don't know what not to touch.
Yes, and he looks.
Did you bring me here for a reason? Did you hire a professional?
We were not expecting some sort of attack. This
You
place.
do not reach out and touch anything that you do not know how it
all we
works.
can do is pick up the pieces and move forward with what's happened.
You're lucky I saved your life.
Now, who the hell are all of you, and how did you get here? This place was supposed to be near impregnable.
Standing at the door, Lobo just looks back and says, "I believe you should be answering our questions first, which is, where are we?"
I mean, also, not to put too fine a point on it, we're archmages from worlds that haven't been destroyed, in part because we saved them. So, I mean, enough with the high and mighty.
There was nothing I could do to protect my world. It was at the behest of the primordials. They constructed a barrier around it to keep the gods out. And when the gods finally got in, demanded we worship them.
Right, I mean, we've had
people of the
we've had
world
one
said
of those
no.
over here. I'm saying, there's always answers.
What?
The people of the world said no, and so the gods decided to turn our sun into a black hole.
It's bad judgment on their part if you know that when God show up.
What I'm
And now
saying,
the world of Fyrene is gone.
yeah, what I'm saying is, first of all, I love where you're coming from here. This collective, save other people, that is great. Like, I appreciate it, other than the fact that you may have tried to destroy our worlds from what we've seen. But what I'm saying is, I get where you're coming from. But I'm saying, we're people who do save worlds and have.
Has anyone ever heard of a world of Fyrene?
Fyrene?
It sounds familiar, but that's
Yeah, what about you? You're the traveler.
It's not a world I've visited, but you
You won't get the chance.
You were about to protest that we were getting it wrong. We were seeing you wrongly.
Yeah, I was gonna say the pangolin kind of like. Look, we're all a little high strung here. It's been a bit of a rough and tumble with the intruder and the destruction and the ritual gone wrong and what with everything leading up to it and all that. But yes, I can assure you we all have the best intentions. I mean, my own world of Eudora has suffered cataclysm after cataclysm before I finally managed to get out of there. Most likely it is in the process of being unraveled itself, and poor Braxton over there accidentally, the Archmage in his world opened up an abyssal plague and was consumed by Tharizdun in the abyss. Oh yes, he points to the elf on the floor. Braxton is one of the only survivors left of his world. We don't even have a name for it anymore. It's been stripped from the multiverse.
So he's not dead.
He's not dead.
Is he healed or not healed?
He is stable.
He's stable. Okay. Anyone have some healing?
Yeah, everyone's got some healing. You want
No,
No healing.
I'll sure.
Right. What?
I'll give him a hand up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm Melf. You are Braxton?
I am Braxton.
So you have fought Tharizdun?
Well, that's a word for it.
Yes. Well, you must speak of this.
Yes, there was a powerful mage in our world who delved too deep into certain writings and caused an abyssal plague to rack upon our world. And we were able to keep it from spreading to other worlds, but in the process, our entire system was pulled into the abyss and now is numbered among its infinite layers. I don't know if there's other survivors, but I made it out and made an oath and joined this organization to prevent it from happening to other places. So we were partially responsible for dealing with the abyssal plague that bled into your world, I believe. Is it Elminster, yes?
It is.
That's Braxton. Pleasure to meet you. It's a greeting in our world.
Do you know him?
There are many people who know of him. He's been here before. You're in the City of Doors.
Oh.
What is the City of Doors?
The pangolin then kind of says, it is the fulcrum of the multiverse, the center of all things. It is where you go when there's nowhere else to go.
That's what the Tourism Bureau says. Look,
You've been here before.
yes, it's the city of the Lady of Pain.
They all and all the archmages sort of like shudder a little bit.
Oh, yes, I forgot. You're not supposed to say her name. Yes.
There are rules in this place then, so don't say this person's name. And what is the Lady of Pain's name?
They all cringe.
I was about to say, that's really more of a title. I mean, it feels like you would use a title like that to avoid saying
You're not
their
supposed to
actual
say
name.
the title or her name. Is it her, the Lady of
It is of her.
Again, they're all like
Just stop. Just say the lady.
The Lady.
That is acceptable. She has at least 6 names I know of, but they could all be nicknames, like Heartbreaker.
Yeah.
They may not be her real one.
Or like
She's
Void.
been around for a long time. Okay, don't touch her. Speak to her directly.
You've spoken to her at least.
Oh, I've done more than that, but I've found that what worked best for Elminster and everyone else was to stand near her and say, "Oh, the sunlight is bright today," as a sort of observation off to the side. She will answer if she wishes, and usually she says nothing at all.
Is she a human or an elf or a dwarf or what?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, I mean, this is a lovely conversation. I
Those dogs
adore
about.
that we're really getting deep in here. But can we get back to the whole destruction of worlds?
yes.
I mean,
So Braxton is like,
Good idea.
Yes. Each of us here is from a world that is either doomed or no longer in existence.
okay, so you all got together because you were jealous and tried to destroy all of our worlds. Is that correct? 'Cause that's what seemed to happen
Yes.
from our
The
perspective.
veil was collapsing where I'm from.
The half-orc says Ford, excuse me, I am Albel of the world no longer existence of Godea.
Here, take another heal there, Bill.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
You sound a little rough.
Yes.
All right.
The world of Godea was drained by the Xerixian Empire, but that's nothing we can do about it now. But no, your worlds were not in danger.
Until you
Such
did
to say
whatever
it.
you did.
And well, and the halfling will come up and Darbus and says, "Yeah, well, look, what we do is we kind of just poke around in your worlds and we skim a little bit of magic off the top and we bring it back here and we use it to solve problems that happen here in the city of Sigil.
But they're bankers.
And oh no, we don't deal with Abathor's bank. That is no. But
I gotta say, I like the principle of what you're talking about a lot. I mean, that just sounds like good economics.
what has happened
Sounds
is
like they're embezzling magical energy.
no. And they're all immediately like, no.
Start twirling my spear around a little bit and get kind of an agitated look on my face.
Everything we do because there is no other way to serve the greater good of the multiverse.
Oh, so your ends justify the means, boys. Is that it?
No, you see, normally we would skim just a little bit of magic. You wouldn't even notice.
Not embezzling.
But the problem is because of this orrery we have in place, it is very dangerous. If those, especially those of the Incantarium, were to get in here, it would be astronomically bad. And
So what you're saying is we should start by destroying this thing.
no, you see,
Wold is looking at everyone like, there are a lot of words that have been spoken in the last 5 minutes I do not understand.
We'll give you an update in a moment or two, kid. Keep going.
Yeah.
So why not destroy the aura? Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
So-
seems like he's got a point.
it is a necessary thing that we survey the worlds. We watch out for dead magic spots. We watch out for arcane insurgencies. We ensure that everything is kept perfectly good to preserve the worlds and make sure that they don't happen like my own of Eudora. We have to keep everything as cleanly operational. There's only so many known worlds, and with each one gone, it is an absolute devastating blow to the multiverse.
Okay, so Huey, Dewey, Louie, you got together here to try. What was the ritual you were trying to do
Yes.
before
So-
trouble happened?
Braxton will approach as well.
And you needed some security here. Is what I'm security.
You're part of this. You're part of this collection.
All right, let's roll things back a little bit here.
And is this all under the lady of
That one.
Ouch! The lady of the lady.
The lady, yes,
the lady?
sort of.
Under their
Right. So,
Lady Ouch. Very good.
lady out. She might as well be. Anyway, yeah. So, what has happened is
Break the dungeon back.
we were trying to take, like I said, just take a little bit of magic away from multiple worlds. So fine, such a small, tiny amount, when pulled from many, becomes large. And we were using that to solve a crisis affecting Sigil. But there was an intruder. We don't know who it was and how they got through the layers upon layers upon layers of abjurations and wards and enchantments that we keep to prevent things. I mean, we live in the city of the Incantefers. We can't let these regular people into this building. We screen everyone so carefully, but they had some kind of device or artifact that we've never been able to deal with before.
This question.
This part is true.
All right.
However, I would have dealt with this intruder if you hadn't reached out and caused the distraction
Gordon,
that stopped me.
Gordon the humor's like, well, yeah, we can be pointing fingers all day about
I
who
will
did
point
what.
my finger. I will continue to point my finger. If you have me bring something to help you, and you have me come here to save the situation, you do not touch what does not belong to you.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. I
And
admit
your
it.
desperate measures have now resulted in this.
So this figure came in with, and I'm ashamed to say that I think we've all figured out what the device was that got them past the incantations. And
We have?
who can enter. It was, in fact, our Rennick blade, not this one, but this is not a Runic blade. It was a Runic blade.
Was it dearest tier? Because that would be like a callback. I mean,
Was the blade itself is made of an anti-magic metal alloy that is created on my world. This
And your world is what then?
Imaria.
Ibawa?
Imaria. Is it on this? I look at all the different little giants.
You don't recognize any of these
know what it would
worlds.
look like anyway.
I mean, yeah, that's
Do
fair.
you know if Imaria is on here?
I mean, we just did a 40 Arcana check on study.
Yeah, you definitely recognize your own world.
I don't think so. I
You recognize a
think-
few others that there's a few other worlds that I don't think you would know, but like
Sure, but we understand the numbering system.
Yes,
Sure,
I think its veil hides it from whoever.
That's what I was thinking. Is it maybe
makes sense.
Yeah,
Is it here but not here?
yeah. Because
Wait a
If
second. Would that have thrown off when they're trying to do their?
Yeah.
number one,
Skimming.
and number two, they would have had anticipated Rennick if they knew of it,
I did not know of my own.
and there would be defenses.
So their Superman 3 plot went sideways. I see.
the quest for peace.
I will. Jesus.
Pieces
Pieces of magic.
So I want to look at this orrery, and you said there's like a burnt out spot.
So the orrery is in bad shape. It has taken a beating. It's been blasted, but you can definitely see like there was a ritual. There's a
Try
burn.
something.
Okay.
Let's see if my world hidden can affect this. I've learned a few things since then from the Taboro mystics.
Okay, first, everybody who's in the middle of the orrery and in the middle of the ritual circle and back away, please step out to the walls, all of you.
The halfling was like, what is he gonna do exactly?
I gotta see this.
Because, like, look, I tell you, my world was destroyed by an Empyrean who made a deal with entropy, and
We don't deal with entropy. But as the lady said earlier, stick your fingers out and touch something, you'll lose your fingers. Well, what we're telling you now is
Time to
draw back,
Yeah.
or you'll lose some
Yeah.
fingers.
We got the lockout tag out going here, so we're about
Yeah.
to remove that. So
Yeah.
please clear the area.
Now,
I,
if you need me to be persuasive,
Can you predict whether actions are going to be smart?
what have I got to lose, I guess? You seem to know what you're talking about.
can
All right.
in a roundabout
All right,
way.
let's see if I can tap into the veil. So you see his eyes, like it's almost like instantaneously the white irises will start to have the cogs of time appear, and it's almost like fractured glass is appearing around you as he kind of reaches in. And I'm going to try and lesser reversal the orrery.
Okay.
Gives me goosebumps. seeing
As
that.
you reach out to your
it's been 20 years.
Yeah.
brain,
Lovely.
it feels like you're screaming down a hallway for someone to respond to you, and you feel a little bit of an echo. And as you do so, there's this piercing pain that shoots up from your hand all the way into your body as you're like, and there's
The laugh?
yes, but then there is this drowning amber voices. Here we go. And you feel the veil's energy course into you.
And then I'll touch the orrery and invoke one of my Imarian powers of lesser reversal. I can touch an object within 24 and restore it back to its state within 24 hours. So I will try to pull it back to a time that it was intact.
Okay. You are treated to a vision of the 10 archmages around you, all ensconced in their ritual. The orrery.
Reading. I'm just going back to the
Yeah. I'm basically just bypassing them like the last 6 seconds or whatever.
Oh, perfect.
You can see them all like mid ritual, the orrery flying around, runes arching, magic everywhere. You can see these like small little trickling streams pouring into all of them as they do this. As the door is blasted off, green energy flies around. They're screaming, people throwing spells that are immediately getting disrupted, and a robed figure just levitates himself into the center, reaches out, and instead of small little trickling sinewy threads, you get full blast cannons of energy surging into him. Yeah. You see her off in the corner reaching out towards Gordon, the human wizard, as he draws a intricately detailed card and raises it up. There's a white flash, and then your vision fades.
I got a vision from it.
Okay,
That's weird.
Who lifted the card? Gordon or the?
Gordon, the human that's currently with you.
Okay.
Do I feel? Can I insight on that?
Yeah.
My first roll was a natural uno. Although, because it is a skill and insight is one of my expertise as a bard. It is a 15.
Okay. You get the feeling that your sword's connection to Chimeras, he's kind of funneling energy from the veil to you, and it feels like it is causing him great distress to do so, and that is also having some unintended side effects.
Okay, so partly
what
the card that was drawn though.
You didn't get a good look at it.
But not the card, but the person who drew it.
That was the Gordan, the human with you now.
Or drew.
It looked like he was like his people were dying, and it was an act of
stupid intent.
desperation.
Desperado. Okay. All right. So then, does the orrery return? Or,
Yeah, everything's back. If you're back here,
what you guys see is this shattered glass, like kind of like encircle a globe, and then all of a sudden, almost like the rewind of a VHS, which doesn't exist in this world. The rewind of a VHS.
It doesn't exist in this world.
Yeah.
It's like the Fiarlan
Not so fast.
Severance tape that you guys have, and it just rewinds and goes back to normal,
Okay.
and I'll fall back.
Did we see any of this vision?
You mostly just saw Lowhole kind of like twist and move and then get thrown backwards.
But did it go back?
It did not. Well, parts of it kind of rescinded itself back,
Magic
but
didn't return.
the magic didn't return. It is in a little bit better position than it was.
Well, this is interesting. Very, very interesting.
How did you do that? Yes, I'd quite like to know as well. That was fascinating.
I had a little help from a friend.
He's powerful with magic.
Well,
He's east of us.
you say you're from a world called Imaria.
Yes, and that wasn't magic.
Yeah,
it was a construct of
He
time.
immediately kind of just waves his hand as part of the Orrery comes over, and he begins to maneuver around and... Oh! What?
Zoom in.
Never saw that before. He just starts kind of like muttering to himself and looking at it.
A word of advice. Stop skimming for now.
Okay.
Well, yes.
Imaria in particular, don't go, oh, look, power.
Well, no, you don't understand. We had no idea that this world existed, and yet here it is, added to our records.
Mm-hmm.
And drained.
And trained.
Somebody added it to the ritual, mid-ritual.
Aha. Would that have had to be one of...
And they all kind of look at each other like...
Because this seems like it might be a good time for a certain zone of truth.
Ah, yes.
A little game. Like to call zone of truth.
Good call. Sword hits the ground, and I'll just slowly walk around carving an amber sword.
Don't.
And then when I hit the end of the circle, dust light comes up and it settles back down, and then this.
Yes, well, I know how this is going to go.
Ask the questions you will, man.
The halfling just like...
I just want a quick yes or no from each of you. Did you add Imaria to the ritual?
And they all in unison say, no.
Who do you think of, you think one of these others, pointing at the others?
Hey, speak with Dead Stack with Zone of Truth.
Yeah. I was thinking,
I don't know, actually.
Stack with Zone of Truth.
I imagine it would.
I was thinking about that, but the question is, I saw you try to do a little something. Can we speak with Dead killed by Rennick?
I don't know what Rennick is.
Yeah, well,
This is the green steel that you saw.
Yes, I still don't know what it is.
Well, let's go start dragging bodies in.
And I have a question for this Zone of Truth.
Please, we need to hear your story, but
Did
start away.
entering this chamber add Imaria, is it?
Yes, my world.
Imaria.
He shouldn't...
to-
The only way I don't know how any of you got here. You shouldn't be able to just randomly portal into the City of Doors. That's not exactly how it works, unless the lady herself wants you here. But,
Unless
but
The lady of.
But his presence didn't add it.
they would have had to have already been involved in our orrery for him to be able to come back the way the rest of you did. If you came through the siphoning energy, that with the connection between the planes that was being manifested, if you came through that as it would appear you did, his world had to have been added.
So it was added before your friend with the green blade came.
It would have been added afterward, we weren't skimming any magic off of that world. It would have had to have been done at some point between when we started and when it was interrupted.
Oh.
You do not know how to use your mind correctly, reaching out and grabbing this card. Do you even know what you touched? But by your own logic here, you said he can't come until it's added, which means the green blade wielder wouldn't be able to come unless it's added too.
You remember Crimeris?
Oh yeah,
The dragon. He directed me to come.
your dictator, dragon
Yes.
dictator, right?
So somebody added it to
Draconic
bring the
Overlord.
green blade
Draconic
wielder.
Overlord.
The
Wait,
dragon.
I see exactly where you're coming from. So here's the
Because
question.
I have a brain.
Yeah, exactly. So again,
And your daughter's
staring at all of you, and I am definitely going to be doing insight here when we get a chance to. Just stop and think. Anyone in your group, any of you, have any reason not to trust anything strange that happened this morning? Anyone who wasn't
We-
acting normally?
The only weird things that have been happening are the arcane blackouts.
Please continue. Could it be someone was siphoning your siphon system?
Well, no, all of Sigil has been experiencing arcane blackouts for several cycles now.
And what are arcane blackouts?
Well, it's when the whole city goes dark and the portals cease cease functioning and spells.
pay the utility bill.
Well, I'm just saying we.
I'm not sure the lady would enjoy your insinuations of the way that her city is run, but
I don't insinuate when it comes to
I
ladies.
think
I
because
say it
to
right
tell
out.
the truth.
Yeah.
we do not know what was causing it. The whole point of her coming with the artifact was to try to divine the source of this problem, and we were attempting to create a backup system that could keep the city powered while we were to figure out why things are dying out.
What are you doing?
All right. I'm just saying. I was having the exact same problem. City with power failing. And when I tried to find out who it was a bunch of doofuses in a room sucking it here. So have you considered the fact that there's another bunch of doofuses in a deeper room?
the
like
only-
the city of...
No, this is the doofus.
Okay.
The only people,
What is the doofus?
Oh, poor leader, a bad leader. Yeah.
the only
That's a
people,
dungeon master.
the only people who have the ability to siphon magic outside of our ritual would be the Incantarium, but they would not be so foolish to draw the eye out.
Keep saying that word.
Yeah,
Keep saying that word.
They cannot come here. So here,
they would not be so.
leader.
You'd be
Alright.
surprised at the foolishness.
What is the cause?
Yes, they're tarot, but what are they to you?
They are not.
So what are they to you?
They are everything to me.
Yeah.
Do you know who added Imaria to your registry?
We have no idea.
It could have been one of these blokes that I've dragged into the circle.
And I mean, again, one assumes because of the zone of truth, that is not something we have to worry about. But just walking on it, I did have a 22 insight. Back.
I mean, you've been in a lot of business negotiations.
I'm
You've had to
looking
talk
for
to
the
a lot
person
of
who
people.
thinks of something after they've said no, and it's like, oh, but what, but
Yeah. They don't. You're not getting the sense that they are. You get the sense that they are legitimately confused.
Sure.
Like
oh yeah, bad
they
leaders.
were not expecting any of this to happen.
Right.
You also get the sense that they're feeling very vulnerable,
yeah.
and they seem incredibly worried. Not necessarily for their own personal lives, but just in general,
For the multiverse.
for the multiverse, and also the fact that they might that's probably going to get their funding cut for this.
So we have
But yeah,
a bunch
yes,
of
for the multiverse, yes.
we have a bunch of things going on. Let's just try and look at things for a moment. So first of all, there is the existence of a device that can apparently potentially destroy many of our worlds.
I think we
That's
know what that
bad.
could be.
We have the the card that was touched, which I would love to know more about in a moment. Like, I mean,
It
when
was,
we get there.
and I will say,
knows.
I will say for Lowhold, it definitely was not one of those cards. It
Okay,
was very
but-
different.
but what we're
Card
saying
was pulled out.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So
This
I wanna
one,
get-
seconds after stepping into this room, mentioned.
So I want to come back to that. I mean, that's what I'm saying. We have a card that has caused a problem. We have a ritual that we can question whether we ever want to happen again anyway, but was happening. We have a person who came in, shouldn't have been able to get here, destroyed the ritual, but also sucked up a whole lot of energy from all our worlds and seems to have gone away with it.
And with it,
Where'd they go? Where'd you say they go? Did they go through that door? What did they do?
You don't know. There was a white flash, and then there was
Okay,
Flash.
teleport. It's fine. They're
But the
gating
question
or
I
something.
have here is, how many bodies are on the floor?
5.
5. While he's explaining all this, I want to walk out to each of them and just want to augury. I'm blowing all my points. Augury. And as I'm auguring, information that I would wish to seek about what if one of these people brought in tomorrow, would I get wheel or woe?
You get woe on all 5. That's a very clever way to effectively skip the use of Speak with Dead.
Yeah. So I get woe. So none of them are going to be beneficial.
Yeah. The question, will I learn what I want by talking to these corpses, is woe.
I don't believe any of them did this.
This is a stupid thing. I hate to do it, but I mean, I'm just again detect magic. Even just cursory investigation. Happy to make an investigation check.
Yep.
Just making sure all of these bodies, that what we don't have is a fake out here.
Yeah.
We don't have a.
They're all very dead.
My,
No. I'm not worried about them being dead, but they are who they appeared to be.
They're all
essentially we didn't
they're all
have a regular-
dressed similarly to the others. Like, you don't see any of them immediately or through any kind of magical means that they appear to be anything.
But we
other
don't
than
have,
specified.
doppelganger illusion, anything. They were all the
No, you're
people
not
that
getting any
appeared-
That's a good point.
yeah, my passive investigation is 26, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
So we're just walking by stuff.
Yeah, you see, like, they definitely are a little off. Like, there's one who kind of looks like an elf, but is a little weird, probably from another world. But they don't appear to be.
bloodlines.
Yeah,
My
but
passive investigation is 48, but pretty good. Pretty
I
good.
just realized.
I've been trying to keep up with you.
Okay,
Max.
did that laugh? Well, I can't do that.
That's right. No.
Yeah, it's
But
only
I will say something quickly. Are you Merrick's to Kenneth?
Yeah.
Prove it to me. Tell me something that only I would know that you would know. That I know that you know. That you
I would tell you that sometimes you gotta use the right tool for the job.
Which is why we let Merrick's blow up the. Never mind.
Melf.
Yes.
Tell me something that only I would see from memory. Of us.
I hate Rennick Knights, especially number 451.
Solved.
that's quite the grudge. Hold on to that for 20 years.
20 years. 20 years. Every night before he goes to bed. 451.
Tell me something.
Dude.
Yeah, fair night.
You-
Tell me something that only I would, that Low Hope Northinston would know.
Remember that story I told you at the campfire?
Oh, yes.
Want to hear it again? Or is now not the time with this audience?
Now it's never the
And
time.
for you are here to defend this.
His ears are turning a little bright.
I was here to help them.
And you didn't cause this.
No, he caused this.
The intruder is the one to blame.
The intruder is the one
I
to
stopped
blame.
the ritual.
You are from Toril, and you are from Corvair, and you are from Oerth, worlds that I am now familiar with. Where are you from? What world do you hail?
I hail from a place I do not wish to speak of.
A world that you wish to not speak of?
It's very unpleasant. It's got problems.
Is it misty?
How would you even glean such a thing?
Your cards, the way you're speaking, your general attitude. I have encountered
That's
this.
rude.
It's Elminster. What is this rudeness?
I'm above such notions.
Yes. Bad
The
trouble.
last time I
Yes.
encountered all three of those things together,
Yes.
I was walking through the mists of
Of where?
Ravenloft.
Ravenloft.
Ravenloft is a very big place.
Barovia.
Yes.
Are you from Barovia?
That is one of the places.
Am I standing in the zone of truth?
Yes, you are.
In a roundabout way, yes.
I have been there.
No, you haven't. You wouldn't be here now.
I was in this place called... It was the castle of a vampire. I was seeking a sword made of sunlight. I, in fact, helped a warforged once, and I escaped by plummeting through a ravine full of mists and found myself back on the rolling hills of Primaris.
That's an interesting way to get out.
I don't know how I got in or out. It was quite abrupt.
So, milady, has
Yes.
this sort of draining thing, did you experience any of that in your surroundings before you were summoned here?
No. I was brought here for a very specific purpose that was interrupted.
Who brought
Yeah,
you?
let's get to that. We seems like this
I
card
believe
is a
you
problem.
called him
Doofus?
Doofus.
Yeah, I did. So Dr. Doofus here,
Dr. Doofus.
Dr. Doofus brought you here for a reason that involved a set of
We
cards,
brought her
Not these.
here.
not these,
But
and then destroyed it. Do you want to tell us?
No.
What do you want to tell us? Yeah.
We brought her here because we needed to divine the reason for the blackouts of Sigil. You see, everyone's up in arms, and of course, we don't want to displease the lady.
Got it.
So,
So
we
you
needed,
thought the
we
answer-
needed a deck of many things, the only thing powerful enough to divine the solution. And she was brought here with hers to be able to allow us to do so.
So the
you were-
markings on the card look familiar.
So you were drawing the power from our worlds to power the ritual of divination. Is that what you're saying?
In part, but it was mainly because we needed to create I'm going to use a word that you may not understand, but a generator.
Interesting. How do you spell it? Could you use it in a sentence, please?
I wish to power Sigil with the excess energy of the generator.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Keep working on that one. I don't think
Yes.
it means what you think it means. Anyhow,
And so
what
I
was
was
supposed to happen?
I was divining a way to stabilize the magical power and help out when this green blade wielder came in.
And I saved us all by
And
drawing from the deck.
This Dr. Doofus reached out and grabbed a card
of this particular deck.
of not this deck.
This is when you notice the deck's gone.
I point to my pouch. I was going to say this deck.
Yeah, you do that, and it's gone. It's not there.
What deck? What sort of things is this deck made of?
Cards.
It is a deck of many things.
Oh, no,
What are the things?
Maybe the
The
deck of many
things are
things hasn't
cards.
come out in Sigil yet.
They're cards that Dr. Doofus and the like should not touch because he does not know what he is doing.
I saved us. I know what I've done.
Can you do a time thing here? Can you see what happened to this deck after Doofus touched it?
Well, I can.
I don't remember what card it was, but all I know is I drew it with the intent to stop the intruder, and it worked.
No, the
do not
intruder
think-
got away
in the
probably
zone?
with the deck.
Yeah, I don't think they left. I think they're just.
Because he might have stepped out to say that.
No,
I do not think the deck of many things works in this way, unless this is some other device.
Those who know how to use it for divination, those with a particular set of skills,
And make you a nightmare of
will allow you to divine. I can divine things from any sort of deck.
People
And we decided that we needed one
It
of
is not just
absolute power.
drawing for your doom.
Whatever's affecting Sigil has the very potential to uptick the fulcrum of the multiverse. There is nothing.
So, Doctor, just gotta ask us here in the Zone of Truth, right here. Did you really think that was a good idea?
It was the only idea.
You think you saved everybody and stopped
Well,
the bad guys by
obviously
drawing this card?
not.
You really believe that, right?
We stopped him from absorbing all the magic from all of your worlds, yes. We did do that.
Okay.
I saw the look in that madman's eyes. He was not going to stop until
Okay,
every world was drained.
Tell us about him then. You saw his eyes. So, like, what was his face? What was his species? What was his age?
Hidden by a hood, I only saw glimpses, but I could tell that he had intent.
Wait.
He
what
was-
did I hear? What did I see?
How many eyes?
Again, same thing. You kind of just saw this being in the,
There was
the
a
hood
laugh.
and the robes. There was.
And the last
Was it
scale.
the same
yellow
laugh we heard 20 years
So
ago?
hold on. I might be able to assist on this one. When I saw the vision, when trying to employ the powers of the veil, I got different powers. I've heard of chronomancers being able to use these powers, but for some reason I was gifted with its abilities. I heard a laugh. And I'll make a performance check to try and mimic it to the
You'll
best
go for
of
it.
my-
Yeah.
That is a 25.
I think you do a pretty good job of it. Yeah.
Do that for me? One more time.
Very nice.
That's what I did.
How do you do that? Was that the voice of
Or
the?
a mime?
Is that the same laugh you heard from this person who disrupted your ritual?
Sounds familiar. He seemed very happy.
All right, so here's my thing, is that we're sort of going in circles here. There's so many things going on here. But I think the question is, what is our biggest concern? We have apparently a missing deck of cards. We have
need those
someone with a tremendous amount of power who apparently, if something really stupid hadn't been done, could have destroyed all our worlds using this machine, which brings us back to the question, why are we leaving this machine in one piece?
Thank you. Yes. Break this.
I mean, who's to say he
Without
doesn't
this
come
Aurora,
back
we
tomorrow?
cannot maintain the assurance that your worlds are not under dire threat from external forces.
But our worlds are under dire threat from external forces right here.
Yes.
We want to identify who this is as well.
Yes, yes, we do.
I'm going to attempt to try something. So I'm going to keep doing the laugh. And
Okay.
then as I feel like I got the voice of the laugh, I'm going to try and speak like this person to get the voice inflections.
Okay.
He's doing bug
And in
stuff.
the vision that I see, I will disguise self to look like the person from what I
Like
see.
that's the robes with the shadow.
I saw that you say I saw them lean back, right? Anything that I can see this face wise, I will try to mimic with the disguise self spell. And then performance wise, I will speak like the voice that I would think would speak like, just in case any of these guys get mused by it or it triggers anything.
You do see them like. I see them. And they kind of get a little hostile towards you for a second.
Have you ever seen this figure before?
It's not actually
Is he an enchantress?
It is easy to deceive.
No,
But I mean, never, no familiarity.
Okay, I'm going to do a history check. Have I ever
you
seen?
go for it.
Okay, so.
Oh, you're bad at history, though,
Have you ever
right?
seen these?
You're the same. No,
Okay, so I only rolled 10. However, I can add 30 to that.
Yeah, well, there's that eidetic memory.
Rap!
Wow. It's not too bad.
So, have I ever seen this figure before?
You've not seen this figure before. The voice is vaguely familiar. I think you
Did I
brought
hear
something
it
up
20 years ago.
20-ish.
Yeah,
What are you? Where's your mind going?
at the end of the battle, or during the end of the battle for Imaria and the Veil, is it the same laugh we heard then?
Are you speaking about the first time you went there, the second time, or the third time?
I'm speaking of all the time.
All the time.
Mystara is not limited.
I will say, there was a time, you recall back to when you had first met Loholt and you were traveling with Merrick's and their dear friend Adira, when you were traveling through a dark, dreary world.
Yes.
A world where Merrick's dealt with some internal demons and Adira the same. And you, of course, were forced to relive something that happened like 1100 years ago when you were known as Eladar the Dark.
Yes. I remember that occasion.
And then there was a voice and a being that congealed itself from the darkness to toy with Loholt. And it was dispersed. I get a vague recollection that it's very similar.
So that was before the battle for the Time Citadel and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So that's the only thing that you can recollect that reminds you of that.
Okay.
Anything? Anyone?
Well, if I was being bold and not giving two hoots about the stability of everything, I would find the lady out and treat her to this performance and go, where? And see if she could help us. But that seems a little too punishingly direct. So instead,
Good pun.
I agree with you that we might want to remove all the worlds from the orrery before we leave.
I believe they're going to protest.
I would protest about this.
I believe that we need to go and find who did this. I mean, I don't know how this works, right? So because I was just
Can you
brought
track the
here.
deck?
I
Do you
don't.
have like a connection to it or anything like that?
Not in
We
the way
can
that-
use the orrery to search
Can you
through
say encyclopedia?
the multiverse, and we can try to ascertain some semblance of
This
what
is
might
what
be
I was
happening.
going to say. If we destroy this, can we find?
It is necessary. It
Why
cannot be destroyed.
Why don't you?
Well, are you still in the zone of truth right now?
I don't think they have any reason to leave at this point.
Okay.
So that's true.
A moment. What if you attempt to do this with the orrery and we observe? Like you're not going away beyond your curtain.
Oh, yes. Perhaps we can see what this ritual is like.
Yes.
Well, we won't do the siphoning ritual, of course.
No, you won't.
We'll be doing the we'll be doing the examination ritual.
Yes.
So survey what remains of the orrery's worlds presented to us and try to ascertain what might have happened.
Go ahead.
So all of you still stepped back. They make their way to the places and they kind of look over at empty spots and they begin to channel energy.
You need,
Watch-
you need
watch the
someone in a
door.
spot here?
Yeah, I'm watching the door.
And as they begin to
Divine sense.
manipulate the energy, you're getting all kinds of this place is whacked out. You're getting everything on the radar.
Guarding the door. Guarding.
I'm just saying, in general, your
I'm
divine
watching
sense is
them
going on
for-
like
Yeah.
an alarm system just in the general vicinity of this location. And as they do so, there is a bit of a rumble in the earth, and everything goes dark as all magic ceases.
Of course.